the Encounters Moments on Faith FM, and we're coming to you from Tasmania, right across Australia. Each weekday at 9 a.m, you can hear what the Bible says about past, current and future events. You can learn how to study the Bible more effectively. You can get to know who God is, why we're here and where we're going. And you can experience personal encounters with Jesus. I'm your host, Jason Cook, and today we have David Leo back in the studio. It's been a while, David.
It's been a while. Good to be back.
Welcome back. We've had quite a few different people presenting. Last week we had Tim Hopkins from Youth Rush. So
Atkins, Tim Atkins.
No, Atkins?
Yeah, Atkins.
I thought it was Hopkins.
Oh, right.
Oh, dear. Okay. I'll have to correct that name on the show titles.
I'm hoping I'm wrong now. I'm like, oh, man. Maybe my phone contact name is wrong.
I'll double check it.
Yeah.
I think it might be Hopkins.
Yeah, no, he would have been here for the Youth Rush.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. I got to have a bit of experience there and brought back some old memories. So I haven't listened to that, but it's really insightful. I'm hoping to do more of that in Tasmania. It's a great way of getting some of our meeting our neighbourhood and sharing the books that we have,
and getting some young people involved.
Absolutely,
a good friend of mine is pretty keen to do some of that as well.
Oh, nice!
He went out with them a couple of times. So.
Oh, great! I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So, David, I think last time you were presenting, we'd been looking at the temple,
the sanctuary. Yeah,
the sanctuary.
That's right.
And but you've got a new topic that you want to talk about.
Yes. So over, I think it was February. It was a week after Big Camp. Actually, it's been pretty busy. We had a special guest come down, and she runs a website. If you want to check it out, it's called Parenting for Faith. So she was here for a couple of days, and she shared with our churches.
What's her name?
Her name is Rachel Turner. Okay. And you'd find out more about her. She's well studied in the field of families, and her passion is how do we pass on our faith, our Christian faith, to our children. And so she brought up, she didn't get that much. She did one presentation in both places and just shared 5 key tools, which I'll speak about. You'll hear at the end of the week what I'll cover in those 5 key summary tools. But one thing that we know for certain is when it comes to parenting, any of you that are not parents have probably not experienced this yet, but once you have a child, you enter a whole new world. In fact, there's a couple that Jason, they just had their second baby, and I was there last week, and when I saw mother, it just reminded me of my wife's face when we had, but this is the second child, so it's a different dynamic, right? And the other boys buzzing around, and dad's trying to take care of that situation, and I was like, wow, I remember this. And I said, hey, and the baby's crying. I said, hey, let me hold baby, let me meet baby. Baby fell asleep, and she was like, oh, how long are you here for? Can you wait for me? I was like, yeah, okay. And I just remember, man, I remember this, and then I started thinking, how do we do that? You ever had those thoughts? How do we get through that? Because my kids are, my youngest is 11 now. And then, my oldest is 17, and now I'm going through different challenges because
my youngest is now 26.
Right. So that's another different stage.
A little while ago.
Yeah. But I'm going with a 17.
Maybe turning 26 this year. I think she's 25.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. But once they get to the and you already know this, once they get to the teenage years, they're starting to work out and navigate their own way through life, So they're starting to share their thoughts, and you're starting to see them make these decisions and action them, and it's very challenging because
there's something that happens as an adult when you have children, and you see this time and time again. This week we're talking about parenting for faith, that people start to think about, well, how am I going to raise this child?
Yeah.
This is not just about me anymore. I can live my life however I want, but hang on, now I'm responsible for this child, and I've got to think about how I'm going to raise them. What sort of beliefs? You see it even on TV, on television series where, the parents haven't talked about this before they have a kid, and
yes,
well,
right.
Are they going to be this or are they going to be that?
Yes.
Are we going to teach them to believe in this or that? And so there comes a point in time when a decision has to be made.
That's right.
What beliefs and values do we want to teach our children.
That's a good segue, Jason. In our previous episodes, we have talked about how important it is for marriage counseling to discuss these things before getting into a committed relationship with the important other. But those things are definitely something that you start wondering, how do I do this? I mean, it took me 3 weeks. I think it was 3 weeks when I looked at the crib and realized, whoa, that's my boy. That's my son. I'm going to have to, I'm going to be responsible for how this kid grows up, and my wife and I are going to have to try and work out this whole parenting thing because, as anyone knows, there's no real manual to marriage. There's no real manual to parenting. And one of the things I want to talk about also during this week is the importance of having a community of parents. It's, Rachel Turner referred to it as a culture of parenting, where we can share with each other, what the struggles that we're going through as parenting, the things we're trying to do with our kids. But I'll talk about that more later. I suppose the point I want to make right now is we're not going to. I think it's important to note that in 2025, in the modern society that we live in, parenting is not easy. You go back 500 years.
I feel like I had it easy compared to people now.
Right.
I'm sure that, my son, who's in his early 30s now, probably looking at having children soon, they've got to raise up a child in a completely different world to what my kids grew up in.
Okay. Yeah, right. I was going to ask you, but I think I'm getting an idea what you're talking about.
Wow, this is going to be hard. This is going to be challenging for them.
Yep. I'm already looking at my 11-year-old in particular. He's if my 14-year-old is called a digital native, where they're born into a world that they don't know what the world's like without Wi-Fi or internet. My 11-year-old is something else. It's a whole new world, just the lack of awareness in real life, just when you're walking in the shopping center and just not measuring, there's another person walking at this particular speed, at this distance, there's a possibility that we may clash. So it's just like nothing like that. He doesn't calculate anything of those things. And one of the scary things is when him and his friends are together, they're all the same. I'm thinking, what's going on? You're really good when you're playing computer games and really coordinated, but, in real life, it's crazy. But you're right. And not only that, you think about, I was going to say about 500 years ago, when you lived in a village where, and some cultures maybe still be like that, and bless them. But, if you grew up with parents that were the bakers of the village, my parents are the bakers and your parents are the part of the warrior tribe.
Well, my parents were cooks.
Okay, we'll change that around then. There's every likelihood that when you grow up, you're going to follow the same thing your parents did, because this is the responsibility of your family. Your family's contribution to making sure this village survives is the warriors are going to protect them from any invading, any other invading villages or whatever, and the cooks or the ones that bake, they make sure the village is fed, they make sure the warriors are fed, and the hunters, they go out and get, so everyone played their part. But now, you can be born to a mechanic and you want to be a biochemical engineer, that's the way the world is right now. So the smorgasbord makes kids go, I don't know what I want to be, to the point that, looking at some teenagers, they just feel stuck. I don't know what I want to do. So many things, but, parents, if that's you, you're thinking, oh man, or you're thinking of becoming a parent, we want to tell you, hey, listen, the Bible definitely tells us that children are a blessing. That is no doubt. I mean, I can tell you from my personal experience and encounters that children are certainly a blessing. Jason, can you support me on this? You agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They cause a lot of grief and challenges as a parent.
Yeah.
But I think that's partly because, we don't know everything as parents, and we don't know how to deal with difficult circumstances. But you wouldn't trade it for anything. That's
right. And Proverbs 17:6. Could you read that, please, Jason?
It says in the English Standard Version, "Grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of children is their fathers."
Yeah, so there's certainly a thing here where it's the pride of grandparents are the grandchildren. Yeah, there's something, I don't know what that's like. Jason, I don't think you're there either. But, I do know for a fact, just watching my parents, they're actually here right now in Tasmania, that they do seem to spoil their grandkids more than the kids, like when I'm trying to discipline them, they're like, hey, don't be too harsh. I was like, wow, you're worse than what I'm doing.
It was a real shock to me the first time my grandmother really disciplined me.
Right.
It was a shock because that wasn't the normal pattern.
Yeah. They usually just look after you and, they fuss over you. And my mum is fussing over my kids while she's here, and it's making me a bit upset because my kids don't have any chores to do when they get back from school, and that's that's ruining the cycle. But the point I suppose I'm trying to make is, being a parent is fantastic. It's a blessing from God. You learn things about yourself and you learn things about God's love towards us. But at the same time, it's going to challenge your
patience.
Patience. I'm just thinking, I don't want to get too deep, but our consumeristic condition of wanting to do things for ourselves, our self-indulgence is really challenged.
Yeah.
So that's where the parenting becomes I do it this way, but this kid is different, so, and I love this kid, so I got to try and work it out.
I think parenting is actually a really good, if you take it seriously, I think it's a very good maturing experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because we learn to be less self-oriented.
Yeah.
And we learn to give instead of having everything for ourselves. And we learn patience.
Correct. Yeah.
A lot of patience.
So you get married, that's one level, and then you become a parent, that's another level. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's the greatest value that your parents passed down to you? That's our challenge question for the week.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was, if you're going to do a job, do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah. I think for my dad, it was just do the right thing, even when no one's looking, that integrity thing. And for my mum, she's just a generous giver. That's one of the things that I picked up from my parents.
Awesome. We've got a book offer coming up right after this.
This program is made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.
So do remember our show number on Tassie Encounters, 0488 880 891. And our code for this week, TEM17. So I'll tell you about the book in a moment, but TEM for Tassie Encounters Moments and 17. Our book this week, it's a children's book.
It is.
Isn't it?
To be read to children.
And it's a magazine.
Well, adults can read it too.
Yeah, sure. It's a magazine-style book by Bradley Booth. In this magazine dimension book are the stories of the greatest heroes since the beginning of time. Stand with Moses on the mountaintop as he receives the laws that would change the world. Witness David, the young shepherd boy, conquer the giant. Be inspired by the bravery of Esther as she risked her life for her people. And read about the greatest hero of all, Jesus, who risked everything for you. Let these stories from the Bible be a source of encouragement to you and your family as you read them. Give your children a real hero they can look up to today. That's an important thing, isn't it? That's our book offer for this week. It's called Superheroes. Text in TEM17 to 0488 880 891. Well, join us same time in our next episode, and it's going to be called, we're going to be talking about the challenges of parenting in a worldview of faith.
Yep.
So this is obviously with Faith FM, and we are talking about in the context of faith.
Correct.
As we go out, this is My Father's World by Ali Rogers. May you encounter Jesus more today and each day.
This is my Father's world, and to my listening ears, all nature sings, and round me rings the music of the spheres. This is my Father's world. I rest me in the thought of rocks and trees, of skies and seas, His hand the wonders wrought. This is my Father's world. The birds their carols raise, the speaks to me everywhere. This is my Father's world. Oh, let me not forget that though the wrong seems oft so strong, God is the ruler yet. This is my Father's world. The battle is not done. Jesus who died shall be satisfied, and earth and heaven be one. I will not be afraid. I will not be afraid. This is my Father's world. I will not be afraid. I will not be afraid. This is my Father's world. I will not be afraid. No, I will not be afraid. This is my Father's world. I will not be afraid. No, I will not be afraid. This is my Father's world. My Father's world. Oh, everything I see. Oh, it's my Father's world. Everything, my Father's world.
This program has been made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.